Signal at Basin 3 fixed dome camera over an aeration basin. Sodium lights bloom in fog. The gauge glass of the sluice panel, clean palm blooms in condensation and slides exactly 1 inch. Over a muted SCADA speaker, a slow, careful voice that isn't on the network says, "Don't." Drain night watch log, municipal water treatment plant, compiled after shift. You take the midnight post because the plant pays extra for people who can hear pumps think 20-5. New badge that squeaks when you breathe. Orange hard hat that advertises your pulse to the raccoons. Your job is simple. Check perimeter, walk the clarifiers. Verify readings against what SCADA swears, and do not open or drain Basin 3 without the day engineer present. Extra rules from Chief Patel at handoff. It's a smile that didn't stick. Don't answer whistles you didn't see blown. Don't go down into the sluice gallery alone. And if the control console offers a fast bypass after midnight, tell it no, like it's a dog that knows roads. By 10:56 p.m., the plant has chosen 1 breath-low blower roar. Chlorine room fans holding their nerve. The transformers thread through your ribs. In the control room, zebra label printer you use for drum tags wakes without your hand and spits a strip. Do not open sluice. Along the edge in ghost grade digits that aren't the hour, 3:13 a.m., you slide the strip. Under the console glass, because paper makes rules heavier, 2 knuckles touch the window that looks out to the basin's measured, not expansion pop. The glass throws your face back a half beat late, and behind your shoulder, a second head leans toward your left ear, mouth parted on the first half of don't. You blink until glass remembers it can lie less. SCADA wakes a card you didn't request. Quick bypass. Basin. The accept button glows the precise green engineers use when they want guilt to feel optional. You hit decline and pretend electrons respect boundaries. The paging speaker clicks and lowers a voice into the room piece by piece, careful as a docent. Don't open, not Patel. Not the maintenance line. The tone cities keep for labeling bones. You say copy to the console because sound pins time to walls. Outside, the aeration basins where they're mist like loose laundry, walkway grating prints its diamonds into your palms when you lean. You stop at Basin 3 because it hums a key lower than it should, like a chorus with a sore throat. On the gauge glass of the sluice panel, a palm blooms, slides 1 inch, and thins. You set your own hand to your side because mammals have rituals. Through glass and cold, pressure match is present. Not pushy as if a hand through material agrees you both exist. Your phone buzzes where it shouldn't live. Unknown. Confirm drain at 3:13. The map sits inside the sluice gallery, then behind your shoulder. Then, you hold the power button until mercy. The lock screen flashes 3:13 and hands the hour back like a dog returning a glove at 11:12 p.m. The whole plant aligns blowers, fans, transformer. Your ribs one long-held note that pushes a ruler under your sternum. In that chord, the sluice wheel on Basin 3 turns a hair under no hand, a sleeper scratching and remembers shame. When your glove grips the spoke and says no like bedtime. The walkway handrail sweats thin ropes. F-water. A 2-note whistle threads up from the sluice gallery, exact pitch the operators use when they need a second set of hands lands. A half beat late like a copy trying to walk in step. You do not answer. The paging speaker adds a bedtime rule. Leave. Back in the control room, SCADA offers you a ghost of help. Comfort mode. Reduce blower noise for operator health. You kill suggestions at the panel because faith sometimes needs pliers. The ups catches the fall with dignity. The speakers learn silence again. Patel texts. All stable. You send mostly. The timestamp wears 3:13 for a beat, and then the real hour, like a joke that forgets to be funny. Printer's old. He writes the supervisor's absolution for nights that should hire priests. Clarifier, cam 2 throws. One wrong frame surface scum drifting like chaff in still air. As if Harvest had borrowed the basin, then returns to ripples and gulls who don't sign in. On the sluice glass, condensation blooms a palm higher than your mouth can fog. Slides its inch, vanishes. You don't match it this time. Consent is a renewable resource and yours is busy. The chlorine room's door window learns a trick it cannot own. For one instant, your reflection arrives late and a head leans toward your left ear, mouth an oval on. Don't. The next instant remembers galvanized steel. You print a sign because signs are spells. After midnight, do not drain or open Basin 3. The blue tape breathes like a small lung and holds. 11:31 changes the plant into choir. Blowers, fans, transformer, your jaw dash aligned. In that breath, the motorized sluice actuator hums a syllable toward open and quits when you set your palm against steel and say no like you mean it. The labeler pushes a damp strip as if letters can sweat. Leave the sluice closed. You slide it under glass beside the first strip until words weigh more than offers. Out on the walkway, 2 knuckles tap the sluice frame patient measured left to right, then right to left, like punctuation learning a sentence in steel. You do not go down into the gallery. The rule about ladders at night fits the hour like a seatbelt. A raccoon inventories the dumpster. By the chemical shed and misreads your clipboard as permission, you negotiate with a flashlight, files a complaint, and leaves. At 11:49 p.m. Scotta grows bold enough to float an I can only bargain. Equalize now. The arrow doesn't choose left or right, it points down. You close the lid on its face and pull the breaker labeled Suggestion Bus. The building sulks in blue, the hand wheel on Basin. 3's drain nudges again and apologizes by being still. You put your ear to the panel. Water speaks a language that wants your fingers. You speak a language that keeps them. Midnight lands without wardrobe. You write quiet night in the log because supervisors like to see that lie in ink. The letters look wet longer than pens deserve. Somewhere down canal, a barge practices a long note that loves bones. CLARIFIE, RCAM 1, blinks too black for a breath. When it returns, the walkway rail shows a palm that slides its inch and forgets to exist. The chemical feed pumps spin their own small hymns and forgive no one. At 12:06 a.m., DePlant remembers it is one instrument aligned. In that held tone, the sluice wheel kisses its keeper and declines treason. The paging speaker, tender as a teacher closing a book, adds one more mercy before the hour with the reputation clocks in. Don't go down. The only down from here is the sluice gallery, where water, yes. Voice becomes a throat, and stares have opinions. Between then and the named time, minutes arrive with posture and leave without receipts. Twice the gauge glass blooms a palm and slides its inch like a metronome trying to teach you to sit. The whistle returns once. 2 notes, a beat late, and gives up before bravery can become a hobby. 3:13 sits down like a rumor that found a chair. Every small indicator blinks once and holds the exit thread over the chemical shed. The pale bead on the actuator, the heartbeat on ups you should not still be seeing. The plant takes one long breath through wire and water and fan and ribs and lets it go, on the gauge glass and the painted wheel of the sluice. 2 perfect palms bloom facing each other and slide together 1 inch before thinning to memory. The console forgets quick bypass ever existed and remembers it is a rectangle. The paging speaker gives you its last kindness in that careful museum wait. Leave the sluice. Closed. Dawn rehearses itself against the settling tanks and then commits. Patel walks in with coffee and the stance of a man who can audit water for a living. Quiet? Asks. Which is how people who count nights ask if you left the world unaltered. Mostly, you say, and hand him the damp strips. He frowns at do not open sluice and leave the sluice closed. Like they read policies, he wishes he'd written before he believed in them. Printer's old. He decides the supervisor's spell for phenomena you can't requisition. He wraps the sluice wheel with 2 knuckles and listens like a doctor to a sternum. Nothing a ledger would fund answers. We'll crack the gallery at noon with 2 signatures, he says. If the system invented buttons, we'll uninvent them with locks. At noon, under honest light and with witnesses, the gallery hatch opens as physics. The wheel doesn't twitch. The water is only water. On the inner ring beneath the actuator, a tiny grease pencil none of you owns. A sentence waits where no glove writes comfortably. Leave the gate closed. The letters look pressed up from the other side, as if a hand wrote them through steel. You trade some midnights for afternoons and tell people it's for your spine. Some weeks around 3:13, your apartment radiator knocks twice like a polite hand wheel. And the bathroom mirror fogs a thumb width higher than you can reach while a palm clears a coin and slides a patient inch. Your phone wakes to unknown. Equalize now. Gets bored when you don't. When it asks, in other ways, keep your hands off valves that pretend affection. You don't answer whistles that arrive a beat late and know your pulse. You don't go down stairwells that remember your name. In the voice this basin taught you steady, small you say. The gate stays closed. For a long, thin moment, your room hums one note like water deciding to be kind. A head leans by your left ear and practices the first half of don't. And then the pipes remember water. The hour gives back the number it borrowed. And whatever was learning your roots a half beat behind you chooses someone else's flows and leaves yours to daylight. Clipboards that behave and wheels that keep their promises.